Hey guys, this is Jenna with Hill Valley Farm, and last week was fall break, which meant that Caden and I could get a lot done here at the farm. So we ended up cleaning the entire barn out and giving them all new bedding. We scraped the top layer off very often, but this was different. This was a deep clean. So we got all the way down past the beam in here in all the stalls and cleaned it out really good. What does that look like? Because I know some people will ask us what we use for bedding, and for us, what we have found that works, you know, we are in a very old tobacco barn. And so not all barns are made the same. This is a very old barn. Now, when you think about hanging tobacco in a barn, you actually have to have some air flow. So this barn is very drafty in that it's wonderful in the summer, but it's not so wonderful in the winter. So the way we have built our stalls, we have solid walls on the interior part of it, but on the exterior part, there's slats. And so obviously, you know, some breezes can get through those slats. We do the deep, because of this, we do the deep bedding method in that we start with a layer of, well, I like to put PDZ granules down, not the powder because it's, you know, they can breathe it. I like the granules. That helps with the ammonia. So we put those down, and then we put a layer of pine shavings. Pine shavings are really good absorbents. And then we put straw on top of that. That way, the does stay dry because of the straw. And throughout the season, we will just continue to add straw. Now, what we also do, though, every now and then is very often, we actually scrape like the top layer of straw out. And depending on what it looks like, we might put another layer of pine shavings down, but more often than not, we'll just do more straw. And we do that continually through the season, especially in the cold winter months. That is what makes it deep bedding, because the manure will actually build up as it was before, and that actually keeps the goats warm. Kind of gross, but it's just science. And so that works for us because the barn is so drafty. Now, other things that we might do when it gets super cold is we will put plywood on the inside of the kidding stalls in there. I've even been known when it got really cold, like last January, really bad cold, we will put feed bags on any area and tarps up that will block the wind. I'll even hang one of our Premier 1 lights in with the big does that, you know, we don't normally use heat lamps if we don't have little babies, you know, little kids, but we will if it gets really that cold, because it does create a little bit of warmth for the does. So we do, like I said, the deep bed method. We did scrape out the entire hallway, clean out the entire kid area and the kidding pens, trying to get them ready. We've got a long ways to go. February is the first date that we have kids due. And so, but we still wanted to just get that done because it was really super nice weather. We also worked some on our fencing and just reinforcing the fencing, if you will, and just doing some things around the house that needed to be done. So all in all, it was a great fall break. And so that's what we use for bedding. And if you want to know what we feed hay-wise, we feed them straight orchard grass. I really love to find some orchard grass with alfalfa in it, but it's not very local here. My local guy only cuts the straight orchard, and it's really good hay, but there's no alfalfa in it. But they're fine with that, so that's what we feed year round. Now, when the does are in milk, we also add the alfalfa hay. And our does do get grain every day. I know some people are very against grain. We are not. We feel that it is optimal for their nutrition, and they need it, especially when I like to give it to them when they're bred, but definitely when they're in milk. So those are a few of the things that we do. Now I want to tell you guys who we have bred to. So let's get started with that. First bred of the year is the Hill Valley Z Lila Grace. She was bred to Cade's Little Farm, AX Leroy, and they were bred in September, and Lila, as long as she has settled, is due February 14th. So she's due Valentine's Day. You know, at this stage, we really don't know. She's 28 days in. I could do an ultrasound soon. I don't have the means to do that. I rely on someone else to do that for me. But we will try to get a confirmed ultrasound on this girl as soon as possible. So Lila did not get bred last year. She did not settle. So that's why we really wanted to get her first thing and hopefully get her settled. So that is Lila and Leroy. So this is Hill Valley Watch This Madness. And we call her Maddie. That's her barn name. She was bred to Blessings That HT Legends Are Made. I really wanted her bred to Legend last year, and Risky just wouldn't have it. So I never got my Risky Legend babies. So I thought, well, what's the next best thing? A daughter from Risky. So Maddie here is bred to Legend. We're very excited. She was bred in September, so she is actually due as long as she has settled on February 20th. The potentials with this breeding is, of course, moon spots and also blue eyes, because Maddie has blue eyes. No one is polled in this breeding. Now, in the other breeding with Lila and Leroy, the potentials there are polled and blue-eyed. So, and the odds of them being blue-eyed are really high because both of them have blue eyes. Legend has brown eyes. Maddie has blue eyes. In the goat world, blue eyes are dominant, if you did not know that. So, anyways, we're very excited to have another kidding from Maddie. Last year, she was a first freshener. Beautiful, correct udder on this doe. And so we are really excited to see what a second freshener udder would look like on her. She did beautifully, and she had some really amazing kids last year, one of which went to a 4-H home, and they won the grand champion with that doe as just a junior. So that was really, really incredible for them. So we're really excited about Maddie. Her reservation list is open, as is Lila's. We will be keeping a doe out of Lila, as she is the mother of Grand Champion or the Sea to Sky. Everybody knows Sky, so Lila is actually Sky's mother. So we'll be keeping one out of them, but this breeding, the reservations are open. This here is Hill Valley Dancing Daisy. We bred Daisy to a Cedar View Excalibur Star B. This is a heavy line breeding, as Excalibur is her grandsire, and so on her maternal side. So Sheila had Daisy back in 2023, and so now she is big enough and old enough to be bred. And so I thought that was a really great idea because of the shoulder and the front end assembly that we're working on. He has done some really good things with that, and so I wanted to carry that on into Daisy here. So Daisy will be a first freshener. If she has settled, she's only 18 days in, she will be due on February 24th. And so, like I said, heavy line breeding. Now, the potentials with this breeding is moon spots, because X is moon spotted. But again, you know, with all of our breedings, that's just the icing on the cake. Any moon spot, blue eyes, polled, that kind of thing. I don't too much pay attention to any of that because we're really trying to improve the breed. And so when we talk about breed improvements, we talk about, like I said, the front end assembly, the shoulder set, the front legs where they go down from the withers, which hers are very correct. The angulation of her rear legs, I don't know if you guys can see that, but she's got really nice rear leg angulation. Daisy did really good in the show ring in just the two fairs that we took her to this year. Winning her class in one ring, it was incredible because she had never really shown that much because she was just one we kind of kept home, not for any other reason, just we were showing others. So anyways, that's sweet little Daisy. This is Hill Valley Mimo Mirabella. We call her Mirabella here in the barn. And Mirabella was a first freshener last year. She milks out so beautifully and so easily, like the milk just flows out. She is tremendous. She had some really impressive weights on her milk test last year, just as a first freshener. So she will be a 3-year-old 2F in 2025. She is bred to Cedar View Excalibur Star B. We bred her intentionally to X because she is out of Cedar View, Tuscany. So we're trying to play around with the Cedar View lines in our herd. And so we thought that would be a really, really good match. Again, working on front end assembly in this breeding and the milk production. X is incredibly dairy, incredibly. And so when you pair it with someone as dairy as Mirabella, it really does shine. And so we're excited, very excited about this breeding. Now, Mirabella is due the same day Daisy is due, which is February 24th in 2025. And so we are incredibly excited to have Mirabella back on the milk stand and see what that second freshener udder looks like. So that is Mirabella. This is Hill Valley Calico Legend. Callie is her barn name, and Callie is bred to Cedar View Excalibur Star B. Again, really heavy dairy breeding. That's why we chose her. She is also the daughter of Cedar View, Tuscany. And so her and Mirabella are maternal sisters in that. Callie has quickly become one of the does in our herd that has really done so incredible. We only were able to take her to a few shows this year because she kidded late in the year, the very end of May. We went to nationals and then we come back and only did like three fair shows. So she went to those 3 fair shows, winning her class in several of them. If she didn't win, she was either second or third. But she would no, she wasn't ever third. She was always second if she wasn't first. And then no matter what she did in the ring, she won first place udder. She was a part of the first place dairy herd at the state fair in Tennessee as a first freshener, y'all. She also scored incredibly well. I want to say it was VVGV. I'll put it down in the captions. In linear appraisal, meaning that she scored very good from memory as a yearling first freshener. So this year she kidded as a yearling and incredible memory. She has got the medial, she's got the correct teat placement, she's got already the width of the udder. And then the one thing I've really been working on is the smoothness of the fore udder, and it's stretching all the way, extending very, very high into the abdomen. Very, very, very correct doe. She's got correct angulation on her rear legs. She's already got some depth to her, and she's not even in milk anymore. She's not eating alfalfa right now, but that's just how good Callie really is. So she is the daughter of Cedar View, Tuscany, and blessings that HT Legends are made. Legend has really proved himself this year with this girl. And so this was the first daughter of Legend to freshen, and we are absolutely in love with how she has done, how she has looked, and we're just really excited about her. So to pair her with Cedar View Excalibur is really something special. So I looked for those kids to be incredibly dairy. Those would be, if she has any bucks, incredible herd sires. And so reservations are open on this breeding, and we're just really, really impressed with what Callie has done so far. So that is Hill Valley Calico Legend. So this is Hill Valley Graceful Aurora. Aurora is going to be a first freshener in 2025 as a 2-year-old. We bred her in September for February. Sadly, she did not settle. We bred her to Cadesville Farm AX Leroy, and so she didn't settle. So this is a sneak peek into March, because we rebred her, what, 3 or 4 days ago, and she is now due on March 11th. So I'm so hopeful that this breeding takes, because she is the daughter of the Hill Valley's Lila Grace, so she's a maternal sister to Sky, and she is also the daughter of Primrose Hill M. Archimedes Star B. So she's very depthy, so much dairyness, but also strength to match. So she's got some really nice width on her. I really like Aurora. So this is an incredible breeding, and so I'm hoping this time it took, and that she really will be kidding out around March 11th. So that is Aurora. So those are the phase 1 breedings that we have done. So we wanted a really good milk vacation. We haven't had a milking break in 2 years, and because last year we milked Sheila through the winter because she was so close to getting the milk star, and she did. But I just wanted a really good milkcation, as we call it. So we dried everyone up after the last fair at the end of September. And so it's been kind of nice. It's been weird not milking. I do miss the milk, but it's been nice just coming out and taking care of the does. And so, so anyways, we'll have a really long break between October and February, the mid to late February, depending on when they kid. And so the next phase we have already bred for, and that is for March, when we are on spring break. So we were breeding during fall break for spring break. So that is going to be insane, because we will have 9 does due during that week. And, well, as long as everyone's settled. Now, the third phase will be for does to kid out in April, and then we hope to be done. Hoping that any stragglers will kid out, we could catch them and maybe hit them for the end of April. Now for risky, I'm wanting to get my permanent champions to kid out in the fall, and so I'm going to actually try to breed her for end of November, beginning of December of next year is my goal. And we'll see how that goes. So, so anyways, that's the beginning of February, or the end of February, the beginning of kidding season for us. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, if you're interested in any of the reservations that are open, please contact us. You can find us on Facebook through Hill Valley Farm. You can also find us on Instagram, and of course our website. And our website has every breeding listed under the breeding plans. It has when they are bred and when they are due, and the potentials, and also the pricing. So if you're interested, go to our website and check it out. Until then, we will see you guys next time, and I hope you guys have an awesome goat field day.